Hey family, welcome to How Love Works, where we talk about the principles for lasting love. Okay family, I want to talk today about expectations. Modern day expectations. What men expect out of women, out of modern day women. Well, I know it's not something that women necessarily gonna like. This is not really, the list that I'm going to give you is not really an indictment, ladies. I don't want you to think about it in those terms. It's not an indictment. What I'm really talking about today is this is how men think about relationships today. This is what they believe they're going to experience from the average modern woman today. And again, it doesn't matter what her skin tone is, what her education is, what her politics is. This is what most men has said to me. And like I said, I've been a little absent here for a while, and so I've been taking some time to talk to brothers and get some idea what they've been experiencing in their relationships with modern women. And these are the tendencies that most men run into. Now, I'm not saying you're going to see all 10 of these at once. You're going to get at least one. You're going to get at least one. And often you're going to find a woman is going to exhibit at least 3 or 4 at one time. And so, sadly, when you run into these expectations, men running, face first into these expectations, it's almost a given that the relationship is never going to go anywhere. It's never going to materialize. It's never going to grow into anything. So the reason I'm giving this information to you ladies right now is so that you understand that this is what men, modern day men, are expecting from most of their relationships with women. Now, why is that important to you? Well, just think about it. If these tendencies, these 10 tendencies that men typically run into, these are the 10 expectations men run into with women. And if you understand these things, then it's likely, if you have practiced them in the past, or maybe you're not aware that you are practicing them, then what you want to do is to stay away from these particular tendencies, and that will once again allow you to be a woman unlike all the others. You don't want to be like all the other women. So number one, expectations men expect from modern relationships. These are the basic 10 expectations. These are things men are looking for because they always show up most of the time from women. Number one, men expect women, modern day women, to have an entitlement attitude. Modern day men expect modern day women in their relationships to have an entitlement attitude. In that, for instance, they may say, well, I deserve to have everything I want. I work for it. I got a job. And, men hear that women are talking about buying, jewelry, or buying hair every month, or buying a car, spending, $300-400 on their hair every month, spending a couple $100 for their clothes or dresses or purses. Now, granted, I don't have an issue with it. I don't care. I really don't. I'm just saying some women can't really afford all of that extravagance. And so when a man sees how she's living and listening to her communications concerning that, often a man in the process of that conversation he's having with her, he realizes this young lady, if you will, has an entitlement issue. Okay, that's number one. Number two, men expect to have women to behave like a man. In other words, they're big givers. They're real big givers, very, very competitive. And they always are looking to get the last word and be competitive and to show their status and talk about how well they're doing in their careers, and their careers is how they determine their significance. Their careers are everything. They're nothing without their careers. That's number two. They expect that. We expect that when we meet you. We expect you to be ignorant about men in general. We expect you not to know anything about men and how we are. We expect you to think of us in terms of a woman. When you talk to us and you communicate your needs, if you even do that, we don't expect you to know anything or have a very, 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 very infantile knowledge of men in general. That's number two. Number three, men expect women to not listen to them. Not at all. We don't expect you to listen, because that's a feminine trait. That's a feminine trait, to listen, curiosity, and not to listen so that you can use information later to your advantage to manipulate, but to listen, to literally to learn and to find out about the individual that's standing in front of you. That's number three. Number four, loud, rude, at times, not all the time, but we do expect the woman to be loud and rude and argumentative. Loud, rude, and argumentative. Those are not ladylike tendencies. Those are not feminine energy tendencies. But we expect it because women are masculine. We expect you to be argumentative. We expect you to challenge us. We expect it. Okay, let's move forward. Number five, we expect you to be offended easily. We expect it. Men expect women to be offended easily because of the feminist movement and, microaggression and safe spaces and social justice warriors, and men are this and male spreading and all of the foolishness that is pretty common now. Number five, we expect you to tell us what to do. We expect you to do that. Tell us what to do. We expect you to tell us how to think. We expect you to impose your value system on us. We expect it. We expect it. All while you're telling us you don't do that and you won't take it from us. But we expect you to do it to us and expect us to lay down and take it. And we're supposed to like it. And we, because that's the way we're supposed to be. And I believe that's number four. Number five, I believe, can be kind of critical. Very critical. Complaining. Those two things don't go well. And, men don't do well with criticism. And I know women typically use criticism to try to change men, but it doesn't work. But we expect you to be critical. We expect it. Okay. Number six, we expect you to think of us, as I said earlier, as women. We expect you to think of us to be the same, that we're all the same. Even though I have more testosterone than you do, you have more estrogen than I do, I have a prostate, you don't. Our balance of hormones are totally different. Our brains are wired differently. But we're all the same, according to the college people and the SJ and all of the politicians and the elites. We're all the same. Okay, number 7. We expect you to think that you can have everything you want in me and the relationship that's going to give you everything. The relationship is supposed to make you happy, and I'm going to be everything you need. But man, we expect that. Okay, that's number 7. Not true, but that's the way. That's what we have learned from our relationship. Number 8, we expect that you are looking for outcome equality. We expect that you are looking for everything to be fair and equal. Even though in reality and in the real world, that's not possible. It's just not possible, because the law of thermodynamics, the second law of thermodynamics, saying that everything degrades from its origin. It degrades, so nothing is going to be equal, and none of us are equal. Typically, men are bigger and stronger than women. Typically, women are stronger in certain areas and men are weaker. Typical, as I said earlier, our hormonal systems are different. Our skeletal systems are different. Our experiences are different. Our time on the planet is different. We have more differences than we have equalities. But, I digress. Number 9. We expect you to give us unsolicited advice. We expect you to give us advice we don't ask for. We expect it. We don't like it, but we expect it because we know you don't know anything about men. We know that, and so that's what we expect. We expect that. So sad. It's just sad, but that's just the way it is. And this unwanted advice, it really leads to a lot of problems. And last but not least, we expect that when we communicate with one another, we don't expect you to tell us the truth. We don't expect you to tell us the truth. We would like you to tell us what you really want, but you won't, because most women buy into the cultural nonsense about not telling a man what you really want. And if you want something, you instead of saying what you want, you say something else and take the man off on a wild goose chase. He's supposed to just figure it out. And then if he doesn't, it's his fault. He's wrong. It's crazy. But we don't expect you to tell us the truth. We would like you to. Save everybody a whole lot of time. But these are the things that men expect when they get into relationships with modern day women. Those 10 things. Again, as I said earlier, I'm not pointing fingers and I'm not judging. This is what I learned. And so I'm telling you, ladies, this is the deal. If you don't do any of these things, you'll be better off. So as I said, I thank you for your time. That's my time. I catch you on the other time. God bless you.